Okay, it's day 49. This is version 1. Here's the SEC. They're on F Street. They're right next to Union Station here. Right around the corner from the Thurgood Marshall Building and the Federal Justice Center. So this is a great place if you're a Justice Department lawyer or an SEC Enforcement Division lawyer. Literally, you can just jump right on the train and head to New York. I used to work in the Woolworth Building, the tall one, about 49 stories, real beautiful, looks like a rocket. The SEC Enforcement Division was in the basement, and we used to have fun when people would get their coffee and the executives would come in that were being investigated. We'd put our finger, to our ear and say, "Okay, red team, move in," and it was always good to see their reactions. This is every executive's worst nightmare, the SEC Enforcement Division, and the person who works there is Melissa Hodgman, married to rogue FBI agent Peter Strzok. We still don't know if Peter Strzok is a real name or a fake name, because Smith-Mundt provisions in the Counterintelligence Division of FBI, JTTF, you're allowed to use fake names, so we don't know. But you can almost see Melissa Hodgman here being like a Georgetown lawyer, and then kind of getting recruited into this. Almost a nice person, almost like Teresa Grafenstein kind of slowly gets introduced. This is the front of the building, and the Google Earth shot came up with these white vans, and I immediately thought of Rayo driving with his speed wagon, and Jamal running in with these ultraviolet toners. Why ultraviolet? Well, because, Mr. Executive, that's where you want to keep all your secret printing. Well, that's the one that I want to do, the memory. I want to have a little piece of memory in there that records everything that you record to ultraviolet toner, and I want to take it to the SEC at the end of the day to build my dossier on you. And we're going to maliciously prosecute you based on that information. It's just a good way of having a third-party liaison go in and out of these buildings and get data on you, a dossier on you. So I'm not saying that is used for pay-to-play, for extracting bribes, threatening prosecution, but I am saying that the Supreme Court is almost immunized malicious prosecution, or prosecutorial misconduct is what it's called. So, moving on, you see the SEC. This is, I believe, Melissa Hodgman. We still have to confirm that. Married to Peter Strzok, supposedly with the wife Lisa Page, having the affair. If it was me, I would have an agent like this. I would have a lawyer who is an SEC enforcement lawyer going on the road. I would give her the name Lisa Page, which is kind of a fake name. Page being, kind of like a page out of a playbook. And then I would have Peter Strzok being Andrew McCabe. And they would have a total working relationship. I would put out text messages to the effect that there was some kind of an affair to make it look like, there was, to throw away from what's really going on here, which is really going around, taking this lawyer in and looking for trouble, looking for something to investigate, and then later Andrew McCabe can go in without this person and say, oh, by the way, there's two ways out of this. One way, you're going to the slammer. The second way is give Hillary a contribution. I'm not saying that's what happened, but if I was a Georgetown lawyer, I would recruit a young Andrew McCabe to do exactly that, to do my bidding for pay to play. Now, here's a case where the person was innocent. This is Benjamin Way. Now, this is an interesting case because Melissa Hodgman was on the team that prosecuted Benjamin Way. And again, you've got this situation where there's hundreds of suspicious activity reports going to China, the EB5. The MO seems to be EB5's China, EB5's China. Ukrainian girls, modeling girls, it's always Ukrainian girls, Natalia Sova's. But China, China, China for EB5s. This is going to be over and over again. It just seems like all the EB5s are China, or the Middle East, So one of the ways to immunize somebody is to prosecute them and then collapse the case, because now there's double jeopardy immunity. So just a thought there. You'll see that the uptake here between our congressmen, what we've been reporting here on this channel, and what the congressmen are saying in Congress in terms of questions, is now down to about 2 days. Basically I say it over here, and then they say it a couple days later. The fruit of the poisonous tree came out yesterday, for instance. The FISA warrant being based on the PP dossier. This is really good to see, because the congressmen are really up on this. And you saw Jordan is up on this. Steve King from Iowa is up on this. DeSantis from Florida is up on this. Gates, Getz. I like to call him Getz because of Chinatown, but Getz is up on this as well as Metcalf, I think, also from Florida, Texas even. With Louis Gohmert yesterday. So Louis Gohmert had actually a lot of questions about like a guy named McGarity who took over the FBI division in New York. And I think these are all going to be Podesta. People have Podesta's tapped on the shoulder and said, hey, this is a guy we want here. This is the guy we want there. And it's kind of that octopus. The octopus comes back to Podesta, I believe. I think when this is all said and done, people are going to see how Podesta moved all the chess pieces here in a rather clever way. Just going through, just wanted to say Centreville, there's one in Virginia, but there's also one in Maryland. And there you can see it's permanently closed. So I just wanted to follow up on that. There were some people that made comments about that. And you're going to see that Melissa and Peter Strzok were also from Georgetown. So there's the Podesta connection, and then they're both at the exact same age, Diamond, Hoyas, and they all gave to the Shakespeare Festival. I think Shakespeare is going to be your tell for, hey, this is Smith Munt, these are fake names. You know, there's no yearbook pictures of Peter Strzok and so forth with Melissa. So I think those, and they're exactly the same age, you know, diamond donors to the Shakespeare Fund. I think that's your tell. I think Melissa's going around as a good attorney, thinking she's doing the right thing with Andrew McCabe. If it's Peter Strzok, it's Peter Strzok. We'll find out in a discovery that's coming right up. So the case is coming right up, folks. So we're going to know sooner rather than later.